Volunteer firefighters are called out on Christmas Eve to fight a mobile home fire. Plus, a land trust helps families find homes for the holidays at a big discount. And Santa Claus gets ready for his big night. Your Fox 21 News at 9 starts right now.
Quality, in-depth, local coverage. This is your station, Fox 21 News.
Good evening and Merry Christmas. I'm Chris Mission. Amy and Nick are off for the holiday. People who would otherwise be alone this Christmas Eve had a place to go today. Volunteers served hundreds of free meals at the VFW Post 137 in Duluth. Fox 21 chief photojournalist John Thane brings us the story.
How are we doing? I love your Christmas sweater. This is an amazing Christmas. We've been doing this for several years.
This is needed. You can see all the people here.
48, 50 turkeys, homemade dressing, homemade mashed potatoes. People were here yesterday peeling, crumbling bread, chopping celery. It shows everything that's absolutely marvelous about Duluth.
Eat, talk, eat, until I can hardly stand up. But mostly it's just a good time to get together with people over some good food that otherwise, what I would eat at home, my cats wouldn't even probably want it.
Oh, how was your pie? If you go out there, you probably noticed when you were walking through just the smiles and the happiness. Hi! Did you see Santa Claus?
Oh, Merry Christmas. This is what the holiday spirit, about the holiday season is all about, when we can all come together for the good of the community.
A nice warm meal, especially a good turkey dinner with all the trimmings and everything. It's just so wonderful.
This is what Christmas is about. It's not what presents you're getting, what you're wrapping, it's just the love and the good feeling for the community.
VFW Post 137 has held the Christmas Eve dinner every year for more than 3 decades. Dozens of people gathered on the steps of Duluth's Federal Building today to hold a vigil for the homeless. They held signs remembering people who have died while homeless in Duluth this year. Churches United in Ministry holds the vigil every Christmas Eve.
It's a time to reflect, and we think about the many gifts and blessings that we've had this past year. But it's also a time for us to slow down and actually stop and remember many folks in our community that don't have those same blessings and gifts. People that don't have a place called home for the holidays.
A recent study estimated there were about 380 homeless people in St. Louis County last year. 5 Duluth families have new homes for the holidays thanks to help from the Northern States Land Trust. Patrick Garmeau of our news partner at the Duluth News Tribune is covering the story.
A few years ago, Jennifer Burke asked her husband Michael Burke what he wanted for Christmas. Michael mistakenly thought she was thinking about more of a long-term goals list. So he said he wanted kids, a new car, and a new house. Now they have all 3. This month, the family purchased a $173,000 home in Gary, New Duluth, but only had to pay $124,500 thanks to the Northern Communities Land Trust. The trust renovates and builds new homes and then sells them at a reduced rate to households who are in less than 80% of Duluth's median income. The trust owns the land the home sits on, and the homeowner pays $25 a month to rent the land, but can do anything with the land they want. Once the owner sells the property, they must also sell the home at a reduced rate to someone who qualifies for the program. The 152 homes currently in the trust are spread throughout Duluth. This year alone, the trust has sold 23 homes about average, even as the general housing market in 2007 slowed. They attribute not seeing a dip in sales this year to a spike in December thanks to a marketing campaign. Anyone closing before December 24th got $5,000 off a home. I'm Patrick Garmeau reporting for the Duluth News Tribune and Fox 21 News.
And you can read more in tomorrow's Duluth News Tribune. A house north of Duluth is a total loss after a fire today. The fire in a mobile home on Rice Lake Road was reported just after 3 o'clock. Deep snow hampered firefighting efforts. Firefighters have not yet determined if anyone actually lived in the home.
When we got here, the structure appeared to be empty. By looking at it, there was nobody in the house at all.
The cause of the fire is not yet known. And now for tonight's World News Wrap, Pope Benedict has blessed thousands of worshipers during midnight mass in St. Peter's Basilica. Benedict called for the faithful to set aside more time for neighbors, the poor, and for God. Tomorrow, the Pope will deliver Christmas greetings in more than 60 languages. Thousands of Christian pilgrims from around the world are in Bethlehem to celebrate Christmas. The large crowds are a noticeable contrast to the sparse gatherings in recent years. Tourists say they feel more at ease because of renewed peace talks between Israelis and Palestinians. In Iraq, some U.S. soldiers have been getting ready for Christmas all month long. Dining facilities are filled with decorations. Soldiers say the festivities ease the stress of combat. And take a look at what TV viewers saw in Chicago last night.
You work all that much more. Oh!
A minivan crashed into the WLS TV studios during the 10 o'clock news. No one was injured and the driver was charged with reckless driving. Up next, hang your stockings and say your prayers. Santa Claus comes tonight. We caught up with jolly old St. Nick before his big night. Plus, see what a WASSAIL dinner concert is all about in tonight's Small Towns. And will the weather cause any more problems for Christmas travelers? That's all still ahead on Fox 21 News at 9.
You're watching Fox 21 News, Emmy Award-nominated Best Evening Newscast in the Upper Midwest.
Cookies and milk are his favorite treat. Tonight you'll find this mystery man in the night sky as he travels from rooftop to rooftop. Fox 21's Melissa Ganji caught up with Santa Claus just before he left on his trip around the world.
Have you been naughty or nice? Santa Claus is coming to town, and that's the question he wants answered from every girl and boy.
Have you been good this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your brother too? You know what happens when people are good, especially people your age, they find lots of nice presents under the tree.
And that's what every good little girl and boy wants for Christmas.
Barbies and baby alives for the girls, and a lot of the young boys want Thomas the Tank Engine trains. Say, do you know what you want for Christmas, Rosie?
A baby.
A baby? Like a baby doll?
Password journal.
Password journal. Anything else?
No.
We get so far out once, somebody asked for chapstick one day, and somebody asked for pixie dust. One person asked for a humidifier.
Whatever is on your Christmas wish list, Santa does his best to make it at his workshop.
We have a big workshop. The elves are the workers at the North Pole, and they're the busiest people. They work really hard.
And it's all to prepare for Santa's big night, tonight.
Santa's job is fun all year round, but going from rooftop to rooftop is a big job.
In the days leading up to Christmas Eve, Santa makes time to meet with everyone who has a Christmas wish.
I made the box up so kids could bring their lists in, and we have a lot of lists here.
And he reads every one.
We have Transformers, the new G.I. Joes, big Star Wars Legos, a 20-inch bike.
Santa has visited with kids of all ages this Christmas season, from as young as just 5 days old all the way up to 99 years old.
When we go out on Christmas Eve, everybody's sleeping, so it's a lot of fun meeting the kids in a more casual setting here where we have time to talk a little bit.
Hi, Santa Claus.
Hi, come on in.
He brings a smile and a Christmas treat.
And that's for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a very nice Christmas.
Oh, you too.
Thank you.
To everyone who believes in the magic
The reindeer are up there.
of Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas, Rosie.
In Duluth with photojournalist Carrie Kohlmeyer, I'm Melissa Ganji for Fox 21 News, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
So, where is Santa right now? Let's dial up our Fox 21 News radar. Looks like Father Christmas is moving in on New York, and he and his reindeer are delivering toys to the good boys and girls all around the Big Apple. And let's see if we can catch a glimpse of Santa Claus moving through the city. And oh, there he seems to be going very well and steady through New York City as we come up on this Christmas evening. It's definitely a winter wonderland in the Northland this Christmas. We'll have the forecast for tomorrow's travel next on Fox 21 News at 9. Well, yesterday it was true to song. Well, the weather outside is frightful, but today it was a little bit different, a lot nicer outside. The clouds parted and we had some nice blue skies to go into Christmas Day for tomorrow. And we're still tracking where Santa's at right now, and he's moved on a little bit. And this time he is ending up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this evening. And he is moving right along with the reindeer. And you can see him going across the skyline here in Pittsburgh. And we'll continue to track where Santa's at all night for all the kids so they know when Santa will be coming in this evening. But for tomorrow, 7:53 sunrise, 9 degrees, and we will be having some snow for tomorrow, so it will be a white Christmas all day long. Winds out of the southwest at 12, and those will be shifting from the west then as we go into the rest of the day. And at noontime, 21 degrees and warming up to 27 later on in the afternoon, and at sunset, 4:25. We'll see 15 degrees with those winds shifting then to the northwest at 13 miles per hour. A little update on road conditions right now. Up on the range, fair road conditions. There are some single lane closures as you're traveling that way. And in the Twin Ports here, we have fair conditions and all lanes are open. And also up on the Arrowhead, fair conditions with some icy patches and snow on the roadways as well. And in northwest Wisconsin, if you're traveling along Highway 2 or Highway 51, there is still some slippery stretches along those highways. Well, taking a look right now, we have clear skies, 16 degrees, and the winds out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and the dew point at 10. And over the hill right now, 14 degrees, and in Superior, 16. Up in Grand Marais Bay, 30 degrees along the lake, and 21 up in Crane Lake, and 19 in Orr, as well as in Eveleth and Cook coming in at 18 degrees. Cloquet right now at 12 degrees, and Moose Lake also at 12, and 16 in Two Harbors, and 12 in Siren as well. Around the rest of the Northland, 21 up in International Falls, 18 in Ely, and 18 in Silver Bay. And with the wind chill incorporated into that, 1 degree over the hill right now. So a little bit windy up over the hill, and 8 degrees with the wind chill in Hayward. Right now, where we're seeing the storm coming in that we're going to have at Christmas here is moving right around in the Dakotas right now, and that'll be bringing its way across Minnesota and into the Northland area here as we roll into this evening and into tomorrow. And that will stick around as we get through Christmas Day, and it will be there a little bit as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and starting to go away as we go into Friday and Saturday with some partly cloudy skies there. And you can see the clouds broke away today, giving us some nice blue skies for the day and for anyone traveling still to their loved ones for Christmas Eve. And the storm is moving its way across again. For tonight, 19 up in Baudette, 18 in International Falls, and 16 in Hibbing. Chance of snow again in Silver Bay, Duluth, and Moose Lake for this evening. And for tomorrow, 27 degrees in Hayward, 28 in Ironwood, and 28 also in Aiken. And we'll have your local forecast in just a moment. Twin Ports this evening, 14 degrees with the winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And those winds will be increasing as we get into tomorrow. And a chance of snow late with some mostly cloudy skies, and that will roll over into tomorrow early morning. 27 degrees for Christmas Day, and the winds out of the west at 15 miles per hour and gusts getting up to 20. We'll have less than 1 inch possible with all those light flurries that we'll have all day, but for the most part, again, we'll have that nice white Christmas tomorrow. Wednesday, chance of snow with mostly cloudy skies, as well as with Thursday. Temperature 24 and a low of 16 on Wednesday, and Thursday looking at 23 with a low of 7. So temperatures dropping much more there on Thursday evening. Friday we'll see 20 degrees with a low of 16, and Saturday a high of 23 with 11 for the low. And we'll have partly cloudy skies there as we get into next weekend. Coming up in sports, we'll have highlights from the Monday night game, and despite a rough couple of weeks for the Vikings, they're still in the hunt. Zach Deniski will have all the information coming up in sports. Fox 21's Zach Deniski is here with sports. Zach, what's going to happen with the Purple People Eaters? They had kind of a rough night last night.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've had a rough season, and they bounced back, and now hopefully they can put it together and get a couple of wins to make it into the playoffs. Last night's game was hard to watch for Vikings fans, even harder to watch than their game a week ago against the Bears, where they at least won. With their own fate no longer in their hands, Vikings have to win. The win won't guarantee them a playoff spot, but they still need the Cowboys to beat the Redskins in Washington. But even with the Redskins in the lead of the wild card race, Coach Childress still knows that they have to focus on the future.
The big thing is we get back to our 1 week framework. We put this one in a box. It's disappointing, certainly. We deal with it these couple days. We build a game plan for the Denver Broncos and know that what we need to do next week. We're down to a one-game season, as it were.
Yesterday, the Packers had their hopes crushed too, just in a different way. The loss yesterday and Dallas's win on Saturday gives the Cowboys home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Knowing the Packers will take second place in the NFC doesn't really change how they will make next week's game.
As far as our plan for Detroit, we're going to play to win the game. We will start the football game just like we have every single week up until now. Now, how it will unfold during the course of the game, that has not been decided yet.
The Packers losing home field advantage goes a lot deeper than just fan support. Brett Favre has a career 2-9 versus Dallas, including being 0-9 in Texas Stadium. The fact that he's 2-0 at Lambeau just makes it all that much harder. His very impressive 85.6 career QB rating takes a beating and falls to 82.9 when he plays at Texas Stadium. The top 5 NFC teams are in the playoffs no matter what happens in Week 17. And again, the Packers hold firm to second place and a first-round bye. However, the bottom 3 teams are still fighting for the 6th spot. Here's where all the crazy scenarios come in. For the Redskins, it's simple. Win, and you're in. That's it. The Vikings, on the other hand, will need to both beat Denver and have the Redskins lose, as where the Saints need both Minnesota and Washington to lose and beat the Bears, who are on a bit of a hot streak, in order to make that final spot. The Vikings have Christmas Eve off, but their opponent, the Denver Broncos, had to travel to San Diego for their last game before taking on the Vikings. But Mike Shanahan isn't thinking about Minnesota just yet. Unfortunately, Jay Cutler, the man who's from Santa Claus, Indiana, started the Broncos opening drive with a fumble, and it's his 17th career fumble in his 20th career game. Then it's the beginning of the LaDainian Tomlinson show. Here he gets the ball, LT cuts it back, and he's got a date in the end zone for 6. The Chargers lead after the point 10-0. But the story of this game so far has been the 3-4 defense and its crazy blitz schemes. Here, Luis Castillo gets the sack on Cutler and ends another Denver drive. And here in the third, the Chargers lead 23-0. And it looks like, Chris, former Vikings quarterback Brad Johnson might get some playing time in Dallas since they've got the division and the conference locked up.
Well, it is looking like a bit of a crazy playoff here going on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach. Coming up next, you've probably heard the song about people go wassailing. So what is wassailing? We'll take you to the wassail dinner next on Fox 21 News at 9.
Westward leading, still proceeding.
Wassail, a contraction of an Old English word meaning be in good health. In tonight's Small Towns, our own Nick LaFave takes you to Bayfield, Wisconsin, where at the Old Rittenhouse Inn they bring the wassail to life through food, music, and family.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse so far. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Where would you go that your choir is in the audience? I mean, what kind of an experience that is, where they literally circle a room of people dining and break out in song.
That is Wassail. A musical dinner put on 30 times during the holiday season for the last 30 years at Bayfield's historic Old Rittenhouse Inn.
You know, I just want you to know, too, that it sort of makes Christmas for us.
Jerry Phillips and his wife Mary, both music majors from the University of Wisconsin, began the tradition, ironically, out of a depression.
Our first winter here, we decided that it would be wonderful to have a quiet Christmas. Well, it was very quiet.
Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah.
The next year, 1977, they organized the Rittenhouse Singers and began their Christmas concert dinners at their new bed and breakfast. Wassail, commonly associated with spiced punch, was originally a term for a greeting or toast.
It also became associated with welcoming foods and welcoming drinks.
A seemingly perfect connection for an event which combines the holiday season, extravagant dinners, and lively music.
It was a wonderful word because it has such energy, you know, wassail.
In order to entertain the more than 60 guests that show up to a wassail dinner, you need singers. The Phillips family has 43 this holiday season. Around 15 show up for any given performance, some of whom travel just as far to get to the old Rittenhouse Inn as do the guests.
Gold I bring to crown him again.
Singers from Duluth all the way around about a 75-mile radius.
There are now 30 wassails every December, complete with wait staff, kitchen staff, professional chefs. A big job, no doubt. But in the early days, Jerry said it was more of a wonderful juggling act.
I'd be busy baking breads during the morning, whatever, and she preparing, obviously, all of the entrees and things. And then we'd come out and, you know, she'd zoom out and jump on the piano and we'd start doing these marvelous things. And then she'd tear back into the kitchen to prepare the next chorus, and maybe then I would take the choir in and start doing a cappella things.
In 1992, however, Mary had a stroke. It left her unable to assume her traditional role with the wassail. Continuing on, Jerry says, was difficult.
It involved all of the things that brought us together as a couple, and that meant a lot to us. And it was something that we shared so personally together.
But Mary did recover enough to still take part.
She now is at almost every performance. She's been fabulous. She's doing well, and she still loves Wassail.
As does the rest of their family.
A wonderful day, 30 years of Wassail we are all about today.
Julie, Jerry's sister, has been a part of the wassail for 26 years.
I actually put myself through college working as a dishwasher here at the inn.
Today, Julie wears many hats, including floor staff supervisor and maitre d'.
We have baked, fresh Lake Superior trout.
She and Jerry are two of 10 children. Growing up in a home where Christmas was very special, memories, Julie says, come back during the wassails.
For me, I was one of the youngest ones, and all of my brothers and sisters that were gone would come home, and so it was this wonderful homecoming feeling. And that's showing right now in our wassail.
Today, the wassails continue as ever before. Jerry's son Mark and his wife are involved, along with other family. And they're looking forward to when Mark's children, 3 years and 2 months old, can be involved.
And our grandkids, oh gosh, I can't wait till they can sing or be a part of the wassail, because it's really special.
Pray and watch and wrestle.
But Jerry isn't ready to hang up the baton yet. He still has a lot of song and a lot of wassail left.
I got this wonderful gold chain a year or so ago, and I was wondering where the watch was that went with it, and Mary said, "You're not retired yet."
Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too, and God send you a happy new year, and God send you a happy new year.
Jerry says they get new people every year for the shows, along with many returners. He also tells us last year they were told by one guest they have been coming back for 29 years. Investors were in a buying mood before Wall Street closed early for Christmas. Here's a look at today's numbers. And now the latest on Santa Claus as he travels around the world. He is now in our nation's capital right now as he's moving through the United States and making his way towards the Northland. He is still supposed to be arriving right on time for a midnight drop in the Twin Ports area as well as around the rest of the Northland. And here he is having a bit of fun around the, oh, where did he end up going? Well, there he is around the Capitol building there in Washington, D.C. So Santa making his way right around the U.S. right here in our area. Well, if you're going to be playing if you're going to have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, but there still is some sports going on tomorrow. Kobe Bryant hit a career milestone of 20,000 points on Sunday, scoring 39 points. What else is going on for tomorrow?
Yeah, there's the Miami and Cleveland game. That'll be at 1:30. Phoenix at LA at 4. And then Seattle will play Portland in the night game at 7. So
there's plenty to do in case there's a little bit of downtime, of course, that usually doesn't happen with all the hustle and bustle with the holidays coming up here. So before we go, here's a look at this year's top Christmas light display in Duluth. It's Marcia Hale's home on Park Point. From all of us here at Fox 21, thank you for joining us and have a Merry Christmas.